In a shocking, or, well, perhaps not so shocking bit of news, Juventus have decided to part ways with head coach Maurizio Sarri. The decision was taken literally hours after the Italians crashed out of the Champions League at the hands of Olympique Lyonnais. Even Cristiano Ronaldo's routine, record-breaking 90-minute performance was not enough. Now, the reigning Serie A champions have to wait yet another year to finally win a title that has eluded them for almost 30 years. Sarri was brought to the club because the Juventus hierarchy believed that the former Napoli manager would bring them closer to their mission of dominating Europe again. Indeed, the club's transfer business last summer was a clear signal of intent. Sadly though, the performances just weren't good enough, and Sarri's rather dull brand of football didn't help either. However, the most shocking part of the sacking was the man who replaced him. Soon after Sarri's contract was terminated, Juventus confirmed that former player Andrea Pirlo has been named the new manager just days after he was announced as the club's under-23 side's coach. The legendary midfielder was picked ahead of former Tottenham manager Maurizio Pochettino, who was actually odds-on to arrive in Turin to replace the former Chelsea manager. Who would have thought that Pirlo would be given preference, keeping in mind that the Italian has never managed a football club so far? In fact, club president Andrea Pirlo even indicated in his most recent media briefing that Pirlo would be the club's youth team's coach for the foreseeable future. Andrea Pirlo is starting a path that maybe one day will lead him to the top of the first team. Barely a week later, Pirlo takes over from Sarri, much to the bemusement of many people. Even the most die-hard fans of the graceful ex-midfielder would be wondering if he has what it takes to guide Juventus to their lofty ambitions. Pirlo does know what's going through the mind of a player, thanks to the successful time he spent at the top, winning tons of trophies for Milan and Juventus. The former World Cup winner understands the dynamics of team building and how important it is to allow players to express themselves on the pitch. While there's been a lot of talk about how he's following in the footsteps of Zinedine Zidane and Pep Guardiola at Real Madrid and Barcelona respectively, the fact that Pirlo has never managed a team at any level before means that this is going to be quite a challenge. Zidane spent a couple of years with the club's B team and then became an assistant to Carlo Ancelotti before he won 3 Champions League titles. Pep Guardiola was also the manager of Barcelona's B team and was promoted to the senior side only once he'd gained enough experience. However, Pirlo is aware of these things and admits that it might not be possible to become an instant hit like Guardiola and Zidane. Guardiola and Zidane, everyone would like to have their same journey, says Pirlo, but you need to earn it by gaining experience. Many people are wondering if it was the right call made by Juventus, and a former teammate feels that Pirlo is basically screwed. Blessed is he who starts immediately at Juventus. I say so because this is a difficult job. It is not enough to have a great career as a footballer behind him, said Rino Gattuso, who played with Pirlo during their time at AC Milan. We have to study and work. We sleep little. I wish him a very big good luck. But we all know that a club as big as Juventus cannot make such a move without weighing in all the pros and cons, right? Let's be honest about one thing. Football clubs today need to be more than just institutions that excel on the football field. They need to have a right image that can project their brand globally. For years, Juventus have struggled to enjoy the sort of global presence the likes of Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool have. This was one of the reasons why Cristiano Ronaldo was brought to Turin in the first place. The club could have signed a younger option up front, but the Portugal international's global following and status as one of the all-time greats of the game carries a lot of weight. In a similar vein, having an iconic star such as Pirlo in the dugouts would add more value to Juventus the brand. The Italian, with his sense of style and charismatic personality, helps the club build a global brand and attract untapped markets in North America and Asia. After spending so much money on new players, Juventus are at a stage that they really need to announce themselves as a truly global football brand. Bringing in Ronaldo was part of the process, and with Pirlo as the manager, the club is perhaps going for a high-risk, high-reward strategy. But that doesn't mean that Pirlo is a sitting duck or that he's going to struggle to meet expectations. He might be a novice when it comes to management, but if we look at his career, Pirlo has always played like a player who understands the game at a far deeper level than most players. Moreover, after seeing Maurizio Sarri fail to come to really understand Juventus as a product, it became imperative to bring in someone who understands the club. Juventus, the new Juventus, wants to play an attacking brand of football. The type of football that would win the hearts of viewers across the globe. The strategy of winning at any cost was important at the start, but with the players they have now, Juventus do need to play with flair. The sort of flair that's befitting an ambitious club. While he may have his tactical shortcomings, we cannot oversimplify this debate by saying that Pirlo is not worthy of being Juventus manager. His appointment may have been sort of unprecedented, but the fact is that he understands Juventus and he knows what it takes to lead the club into the future, and that makes him an ideal candidate. The club is definitely in uncharted territory because of this appointment, but then again, how many times have we seen teams bring in experienced managers only to see results go differently? There's one particular dilemma that might make things insanely difficult for Andrea Pirlo though. The legendary manager will be at a club where winning the Scudetto has now become something of a routine activity. The club may have won 9 consecutive titles, but Pirlo would still be expected to win another one. Would he be able to guide the team to its 10th straight title in his first ever managerial role? Teams that finished below Juventus have started closing the gap. Inter Milan have invested heavily in their squad. Napoli have taken care of their striking woes by bringing in Victor Osimhen from Lille and would be a more consistent performer for sure. Atalanta continue to impress, and if Gianpiero Gasperini is able to hold on to the likes of Duvan Zapata and Luis Muriel, the Bergamo club could mount a serious assault for the Scudetto. AC Milan have become a more stable side under Stefano Pioli and would not be pushovers. With all the teams around them strengthening, Pirlo needs to be given backing by the club in the transfer market. There are several issues with the club's squad that need to be addressed, and Pirlo, being someone who understands the game well, might already be making a wish list of his own. The current transfer window promises to be an interesting one for Juventus and could go a long way in showing whether Pirlo will be given the right backing by the club's hierarchy or not. The first season is likely going to be a period of transition for the old lady. For Pirlo, it would be a campaign of getting adjusted to familiar surroundings in an unfamiliar role. Will he be able to soak it all in? Time will tell. But the transition period was eventually going to happen at some stage. And maybe it's a good thing that this period will happen under the tutelage of a young manager who understands the club far better than most. Want to know how we never miss a match? With Fubo TV, you can stream any game, anytime, anywhere. Use our link in the description to start for free and watch your favourite teams live.